Probablemente todos nosotros tenemos una persona a la que admiramos muchísimo en el medio del espectáculo o de los deportes. Y a veces este fanatismo puede pasar a una obsesión. Y puede ser que creamos que esa persona tiene una amistad real con nosotros o que tenemos una relación con esa persona y que toda nuestra vida empiece a girar alrededor de un personaje famoso. Este fenómeno, conocido como relación parasocial, será detallado por nuestra siguiente participante, que es Maite Galindo, para quien pido un aplauso.
Have you ever been obsessed with a celebrity or famous person? So obsessed you think you know everything about them, you enjoy watching their videos, and you feel a genuine affection for them? Well, have you ever wondered why you're so obsessed with someone you barely know? That is exactly why I'm doing this talk. Hopefully to enlighten you on the psychology behind parasocial relationships, its potential benefits, why it can be harmful to our mental health, and what you can do to keep them healthy. The first studies of parasocial relationships started back in the 1950s, when psychologists tried to understand how TV personalities and how TV viewers reacted to TV hosts and TV personalities. They were worried that people wouldn't be able to distinguish between real relationships and the ones they had with people on their screens. Parasocial relationships, the relationship you have with a celebrity is different from the relationship you would have with a friend or family member. In a relationship with a friend, you both express emotional energy and interest towards each other. But the relationship you have with someone famous is what psychologists refer to as parasocial relationships. Parasocial relationships are one-sided relationships where you express emotional energy and interest towards a celebrity, but they don't even know you exist, or they just don't express the same energy and interest towards you. Parasocial relationships, you may think parasocial relationships aren't a big problem. But according to a study by ThriveWorks, about 51% of Americans have likely been in a parasocial relationship, although only 16% of them admit to it. Parasocial relationships aren't all bad. Here are the benefits. Parasocial relationships allow us to feel connected without the fear of rejection. They give us a person to look up to, a person that makes us feel good and safe. Even if we don't know that person face to face, parasocial relationships help teenagers form a sense of self and establish autonomy, according to a 2017 study. The researchers found that fantasizing about relationships with people far away creates kind of a safe forum to experiment with different ways of being. Parasocial relationships do have downsides. These relationships can get incredibly intense, leading up to the point where you develop COD, celebrity obsession disorder. People with celebrity obsession disorder may feel like they're in love with their celebrity, or that their celebrity is their best friend, even if it's only a one-sided relationship. These relationships might also make people stop doing what they usually would just to watch these celebrities. And sometimes they can do dangerous things to get close to celebrities. For example, Chappell Roan once called out fans for bullying her and stalking her online, and becoming abusive when she refused to pose for pictures or give hugs. This triggered a massive discussion online. Some praised Roan and said for standing up for herself and her privacy. But others said she wasn't pop star material if she couldn't handle obsessive fans. According to a study by Harvard, if you rely on parasocial relationships too much, they can lead to isolation and loneliness. That can then lead to other chronic health risks like depression, anxiety, or dementia. The influence of a parasocial relationship isn't always good if you're picking up unhealthy ideas from the people you follow. Parents here in the audience, do you know who your kids follow on social media? Does it align with your values? Do you know what they're getting from it? However, now let's address at the heart of this problem, social media. What does social media have to do with all of this? Well, we watch our favorite celebrities through social media platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. This is mostly the way we connect with celebrities and learn about them. Through these posts and reels, we learn about celebrities' lives and then become so obsessed with their perfect lives, we try and replicate this perfection in our own lives. This, however, is impossible. Because through these posts and reels, we never get the full story. We only get a glossy, somewhat fake version of these stories. We never know what actually happened or what they actually went through. Even though social media makes celebrities seem perfect, they're not. They all have their insecurities, and they all go through tough moments too. Another thing I should mention is that influencers and celebrities that make videos on social media try and make their followers think they're friends by showing them their daily lives, their homes, their personal problems. They do this so people will buy and watch what they promote, even if they're buying something they don't really need. Another thing that social media provides is the ability to comment on what people post. In large fandoms, this can lead to toxic behavior, where fans send hurtful comments to other famous individuals simply because they said something about a celebrity they deeply admire. In other communities, filled by passionate teenagers, they can encourage hostility by egging each other on. Since people interact through their phones, sometimes they forget there's another person on the other side. This creates kind of an echo chamber where everybody agrees with each other and they think their actions are justified, even if they're actually causing harm. Overall, parasocial relationships aren't bad. As we have seen before, they do have their benefits. But we have to make sure our parasocial relationships stay healthy by doing other activities to keep busy, managing our time on social media. Celebrities also have qualities we can get inspired from. For example, if a celebrity you deeply admire is optimistic, you can take that optimistic quality of theirs and incorporate it into your own life. But it's not about copying their life. It's about living yours. Because in my opinion, even though celebrities seem perfect, they're not. They never really show their full selves. They only show a glossy, fake version of themselves. It's okay to like and love a celebrity, but the relationship has to stay in control. And most importantly, don't lose sight of who you are or the life you're building. And make sure to hold on to those real life relationships because they're the most important ones and they're real. Thank you.